How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode. We are road tripping right now. We are driving through the beautiful state of Arkansas. I've never been to Arkansas before, but it is gorgeous right now. I'm a little west of Little Rock, driving to Lake Fork today. Yesterday I posted a video kind of explaining what I'm doing right now. I drove my boat to Cincinnati for Thanksgiving. I'm now driving it from Cincinnati to Dallas. I'm gonna stay there for about a week, then driving back home to Chicago and leaving my boat in Texas so I can fish there throughout the winter. But yesterday I originally had plans to fish somewhere in between Cincinnati and Little Rock and fish with a subscriber, but I didn't put out the video until Sunday. So yesterday and Sunday I just drove straight through the Little Rock, stayed in Little Rock last night, and now we are driving to Lake Fork. We're gonna get there about 10:30 in the morning, but that's fine because it was really cold this morning. It was like 35 degrees, but it's gonna get up to 70. It's gonna get sunny. So I'm thinking it's gonna be an afternoon bite, and I am excited to get after the Lake Fork toads. I've been to Lake Fork twice now, and it hasn't exactly treated me that well, but I know there's big ones everywhere on that lake. I'm just excited to get down to Texas and have the freedom to fish in all these lakes because I grew up in the Chicago suburbs. We didn't have the freedom of Texas bass fisheries. The coolest thing about Texas, I know a lot of you guys gave me crap in the last video for naming the lake that I fish, but you gotta understand that I protect most of the lakes that I fish. I don't say the lake name. The thing about that lake is it's 3,000 acres. There's like over 50, 60 boats. It is a heavily pressured lake. Most of these lakes in Texas, everyone knows about them. Everyone knows they have big fish, and they're highly pressured and they still produce. That's the amazing thing about Texas. There's just so much water. It's just gonna be me today. I think we're gonna meet up with a lot of different people over the next like 2 weeks and fish. Like I said in the last video, if you live in Texas, if you live on the way from Dallas to Chicago, hit me up, email me, DM me, message me, do whatever you need to do to contact me, because I would love to fish with you guys. All right, fast forward 3 to 4 hours and we have made it to beautiful Yantas, Texas, home of Lake Fork. Well, one of the homes of Lake Fork. I love it. Their gas stations have no ethanol, which ethanol is not exactly good for boat motors. You could put in ethanol treatment, but my motor's old. I like to put in no ethanol. We are basically near our final stop for the first leg of the journey. The big tank, that 8.1 liter Suburban, that's like, ooh, how old is that now? It's 14, almost 15 years old now. She's almost at 200,000 miles. She is tanking along, 17 hours, no problem. Doesn't look like I can pay for gas here, so I'm gonna go inside anyway because I need some tackle. This Fisherman's One Stop, they got everything that you need for Lake Fork. All right, so that dude was super nice, as is everyone in the South. Didn't want to take the camera in there because I don't like shoving a big camera in people's faces in places I've never been. So now I'm gonna head to the lake, short drive to where I am launching, and there I'm gonna show you what I bought and what I'm going to do today. All right, boys and girls, we have made it out to the legendary Lake Fork. I've spent 2 days here. Me and Perk spent 1 day here last spring. We caught 2 fish all day, but they were 5 and 6 pounds during the spawn. And then I came here, I think 3 weeks ago with Bryce and Spencer, and didn't catch too many, but Bryce lost an absolute giant on a swim bait. So this lake hasn't treated me terrible, but it hasn't treated me great. Today I'm gonna try something that's way out of my comfort zone and something I've never really done. So here's what I got from One Stop. Not much, but needed to get a couple things. One were some Ned rig worms because I hate using Senkos on a Ned rig because they rip after every fish. Then just some bullet weights, hooks, things that aren't interesting, but this is what was interesting to me. Oh yeah. We're going offshore fishing today. I'm going to try to spend 90% of the day offshore. I'm gonna be stubborn. I don't usually fish like this when I'm fishing for YouTube videos, but I'm gonna fish very hard. I'm gonna try to learn it. I'm gonna spend a lot of time idling out in deep water with my graph, doing a lot of searching, because I wanna find some big bass offshore. If I can't do that, I got some Ned rigs, like some little Senkos and stuff that I can go up shallow and catch fish, but what I really wanna do is catch those Lake Fork giants that I know they're offshore. There's big fish up shallow, but I mean, there's big fish all over this lake, and I know the biggest bass, the most concentrations of the big bass, if that's even a word or a phrase, we're just gonna roll with it. The most big fish are out deep chasing what I've heard are like barfish. They don't really chase shad, which I don't know if I wholly believe that. I don't know what that's all about. Like I said, have absolutely no knowledge down here, but from what research I've gathered is that the really big bass love eating barfish out deep. So I'm gonna grab some humps, some road beds, ditches, all that stuff. I'm gonna try to catch fish out deep, which I've never done. I'm from Chicago. We don't fish offshore there, really. All right, so I'm about to fish this waypoint. This is the first thing I've found offshore that is kind of worth my attention. It's right on a road bed. It's a big isolated tree. I marked some bass on it. Who knows if they'll bite? Who knows if I'm throwing the right lures, but we're gonna give her a go anyway. This flutter spoon is gonna get stuck in the tree almost immediately. I'm almost sure of it. But there's kind of it. I missed it. There's the bass. Almost positive that those things are a school of bass. There's a tree down there as well. The trees on the waypoint. Those are fish suspended off. Ooh, there's more. Those are fish off to the left of me. It makes it really difficult that I don't have a front graph, so I kind of have to be staring at that. Guys that are really good at offshore fishing obviously have all the experience, but equipment is huge when you're offshore fishing. You need to have a graph right on the front to know exactly what you're looking at down below. You can have spot lock on your trolling motor to keep you in a specific GPS waypoint. There's a bunch of tools you can use to make this way easier. But the only way to learn is to just do it and learn as you go along your way. If I can't catch fish doing this, it's more of a user error than an equipment error, but it would be nice to have all the brand spanking new fancy equipment. Well, this was short-lived. I'm directly over the tree right now. There's what I suspect to be the bass. And there's amateur offshore fishing 101. Well, I can't get mad. This is just the learning curve as in any other type of fishing. I've never fished offshore. I've never fished spoons. Probably should have assumed to carry a lure retriever when I'm out doing this, but I'm just gonna have to lose a $12 spoon. Wow, that looks kind of crappy because of how blinky it is. Those fish. Those guys right there. Hope you guys can see. I don't know why the screen's doing that weird thing, but yeah, I'm giving up on them. I've spent about a half hour there. I fished worms here. I fished a drop shot, a shaky head. I lost that spoon. I fished a jerkbait over them because I saw there were, I don't think the bass were suspended in trees. I think that was more the crappie, but there were a bunch of big hooks around that tree. I don't think those were anything but a bass. So the search continues. All right, so it is now about, I'd say an hour and a half since that last spot that I fished. I've graphed and tried a lot of different spots that were just not working for me. I have no idea what I'm doing in offshore fishing, so I'm gonna fish some stuff that's a little more familiar, and that means for me going shallow. This is still offshore. This is a big hump offshore, but it comes up to like 5 or 6 foot. A lot of trees on it, as you guys can see. So I'm just gonna throw a jerkbait around it, throw a worm in it, and hopefully the Lake Fork bass wanna be nice to me. That's a fish. Okay, that was a bass. That was my first bass of the day. Oh, this is just weird. I came to fish what I thought was a small bay on Lake Fork. My boat's right there. Is it still right there? Oh, that was a red ant. Okay, red ant just got me. That didn't feel the best, but my boat is still right there. I thought there was gonna be a bridge to connect me to this pond. There was no bridge and there's a well-worn path, so my curiosity got the best of me. I had this lipless crankbait. I took like 2 casts. I didn't even talk about it because I thought it was just gonna be like a dried up little mud hole. Took 2 casts and I caught a bass, and it is deep out there. I don't really know what this is. I don't know if Lake Fork, like the land around it, is public or private. There's not a home within miles of this pond. And where's the path? There's like a very well-worn path from right there to right here. So I figured that I wasn't trespassing or doing anything weird like that. I was just having 0 luck on Fork. Just not a good day. But this pond has given me one. Fish wasn't that big. It was just like a 2-pounder, but it was my first bass of the day. I was almost surprised when that fish hit. I thought it was a weed. Because like this pond is very small. All right, let's get some more. There's gotta be some big ones in here. I mean, it's Texas. And plus, what kind of idiot would fish this pond if Lake Fork is right there? This idiot, that's exactly who. Now, if this is private property and this is like someone's private pond, I'm gonna feel really, really bad. Obviously, it's never okay to trespass, but I'm not sure if this is public land or not, but if it's part of Lake Fork or not, I don't know, because I feel like if this is someone's private land, there 100% would have been signs around here. There would have been something. I looked on the map and there was no houses anywhere near here. See if I can pull a large marge out of here. Avoid more red ants, avoid snakes, avoid alligators. Things you don't have to look out for in Illinois, but do in Texas. All right, I'm gonna go put this topwater bait away. I'm gonna grab a jig and see if I can walk around this pond a little more. There's a bunch of laydowns over there. I'd love to fish it more. And here's the path to it. I mean, there's a path right there. And there's a very clear walking path up from the lake. I mean, since there's a walking path, there's no signs. Unfortunately, garbage is here. I mean, people have been here. People have, assuming have fished this pond before, so I'm going to assume there's a green light to fish it.
That's a fish. I was trying to snap it out of the weeds, and that's another fish. This one feels heavier. Oh, did he ever choke it. I can't tell if it's big or not. Not really. A little over two pounder. Two and a half. They are fat in this pond though. God, just when I was contemplating leaving, I don't like leaving my boat completely unattended right there. I don't like being on this land, but these bass are just beautiful. And we all know Chris sucks on Lake Fork. I was reminded that by the lake in the first 4 hours I was here. I wanted to stay with sticking offshore, but I mean, I marked like a good 10 or 15 areas that I was gonna try, and I fished every single one pretty much. I looked at it, I graphed it. Almost all of them had fish down there. I couldn't get a single bite down there. I have no experience. I don't know what I'm doing. And unfortunately, the areas of the pond I wanted to fish were over there. There's a bunch of laydowns and stuff, but I can't get over there. I already tried. It's just way, way, way too overgrown. It's all like nasty thorn bushes too. I've already gotten 2 red ant bites. I don't need to go through the Texas forest anymore. But we'll give this a couple more casts. I'm hoping there's a big one in here. I mean, it looks right. It looks right. It feels right. Don't know if it is right though. There's one. I just grabbed it right there. Okay, the secret pond is still gonna give me up a little bass. All right, well, good news, all my stuff is still here. After that fish, I just decided to leave. Goodbye, secret pond. I'm gonna go try to catch fish in the actual lake now. You know, that whole thing I came out here to actually do. Let's go try to do that. All right, time for a nice slow idle. If you guys didn't know, Lake Fork has standing timber basically everywhere. And there's safe boat running lanes, but there's really only one lane for the whole section of the lake. So if you wanna go somewhere where there's not a boat lane and you've never been here before, it's best to idle. So now I'm gonna go to the other side of the lake. It's just right there. It's probably gonna take me like 15 minutes though. Thank you, secret pond. Well guys, as the sun sets on beautiful Lake Fork, I cannot help but feel just completely defeated because I did not catch a fish on the actual Lake Fork today. I have no excuses other than the fact that I'm a complete idiot when it comes to offshore fishing and Lake Fork in general. It's just kicked my ass every single time I fished it. But I'm gonna go get something to eat and then go back to the hotel, and I want to talk to you guys for a little bit over there too. We are back. We're at the hotel now. I'm exhausted. I have driven so much over the last 2 days. I fished a lot today with very little to show for it. Ate at a good restaurant, staying at this nice hotel here. Very cheap too. Like this room, this is all nice brand new wood. I meant like I think the Lake Fork Marina and Motel. I don't know. It was really the only lodging place in the lake, but like 40 or 50 bucks. I think 45 bucks. Really not that bad at all. We are calling in reinforcements tomorrow. Bryce is going to come out and fish with me tomorrow, so we're going to catch fish tomorrow because I always catch good fish with Bryce. Bryce is the man. He knows what is up when it comes to Texas bass fishing. I feel like I'm definitely in a little bit of a mini slump when it comes to fishing right now because I fished once in the last week. The one time I did fish, I fished for 4 hours on Brookville. This was the only bass I caught. Oh, that's a fish. That is a big smallie. Yes, got him out. Crush that lipless crankbait. I thought it was snagged on the stick. Come on. Come on, fish, don't come off. Don't come off. That is a beautiful, beautiful Brookville Lake smallmouth. Choked. That lipless crankbait. So although that was like a really big smallmouth for that lake, it's still only like a 3-pound smallmouth. It doesn't really make enough for a video, and I don't really love making videos with just one fish catch for you guys. I like there to be like a complete story and all that, something that's interesting. If I don't want to watch it, I know you guys aren't. So that's the deal. That's what's going on in my life right now. I'm just kind of traveling around Texas right now because I grew up in Chicago. We don't really have many great bass fisheries there. And Texas, a lot of the South, but Texas especially, is just so blessed with so many amazing bass fishing lakes. The next week, I'm really going to enjoy traveling around Texas, fishing like a bunch of different places. And then I'm going to drive home, hopefully fish with a couple of you guys, and then get to ice fishing, finally show you guys what I'm putting in that damn tank that's been pretty much sitting around for like 2 months. I'm really excited to reveal that. Yeah, that's kind of the update. My life has been a little slow this last week, but we're gonna hit December very hard. I've not been posting much in the last 2 weeks. I've very much slacked, but we are going to make up for it. I promise you, December is going to be a big month for the channel. So I hope you guys all stay tuned to those videos. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm rambling. I've driven way too much these last few days and fished way too much. It's like only 6:30 right now. I get to relax. I don't have to wake up early to drive. This is nice. So I'm gonna wake up a little bit after sunset, fish with Bryce. I will catch you guys on the next video, hopefully with me holding a big 10-pounder with Bryce.